So now we're going to go ahead and start our first briefing, which is on the Joint Office of Homeless Services.
First up on the Multnomah County Commissioner's agenda Tuesday, an audit of the Joint Office of Homeless Services. That's the group jointly run by the county and City of Portland, formed in 2016 and tasked with coordinating funding and a response to homelessness. Tuesday morning, county commissioners heard from the county auditor about the program.
To make sure that we are being accountable to taxpayers, we are being really effective with the work that happens here at the county.
The audit revealed communication problems and a pattern of late payments to providers. And it's not for a lack of money. This fiscal year, more than $300 million is budgeted to move through the joint office. Auditors recommend they improve their finance department.
Delays in payments create a hardship for service providers and ultimately put the populations they serve at risk.
The county's audit team interviewed 48 homeless service providers, or nonprofits, that the joint office works with.
And in our survey, about 2 out of 3 providers surveyed believe that the joint office did not do a good job of coordinating service providers. Next slide, please.
They also found no clear path for people to move from the streets into housing. Despite the name Joint Office, it's a very disjointed network.
People are often required to interact with multiple systems. They can be eligible for services in more than one system, and each system has its own application process and assessment.
It's a struggle that you don't understand until you're in it.
Iridessa has tried getting into housing 5 times in the past 3 years.
And then they reach me out to somebody else. I'm like, well, now I have 2 ongoing programs with 2 different people, and I don't know what to do.
Joint Office Director Dan Field, who has only led the office for 4 months, admits they could do better.
The findings can be hard to hear. Hard for you all as leaders of the county, hard for taxpayers who are wondering how the dollars are spent effectively.
But he argues the audit doesn't cover everything they do.
I also want to acknowledge a lot of good work happened last year. As one very specific example, we prevented evictions in 5,300 households.
An achievement Commissioner Sharon Myron pushed back on.
This audit is unmistakably bad. We get evidence of how awful things really are, and then the county pivots to say, but look over here, and points to a little number. What's at the heart of the problem is the lack of a plan.
A plan to help people like Iridessa.
Like, I want to get clean and stuff, but the programs out here are rough.
I hope we recognize the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg this audit has revealed, and explore the full iceberg before it sinks all our efforts to eradicate homelessness in this county.
Now, other commissioners echoed Myron's statements in that this audit is a narrow look at the joint office, but more work is being done. There is going to be a second audit that will focus on all the data that the joint office collects. The audit team has presented them with a list of recommendations and will check in with them in January to see if they've made any progress. And the county has also hired an outside contractor to also review the program, and that will be discussed later this week. Brittany.
All right, Blair, thanks for following this important topic.